Hi, all. Today we are going to see the topic Git and GitHub. It starts with the Git. So Git is a versioning control system. It can control all the versions in the project. Consider the project having different versions, version 1, 2, 3, like that. You can track and you can access each and every versions. Even if you can access version 4, version 3, version 2, and version 1, everything. So you can do all the changes and you can access all the versions in the project. So that is called as versioning control system. And also, it also helps to track changes in your code and store the different versions. So each and every changes and every updation is considered as a different versions. And the most important thing, you have to collaborate with others. It's a collaboration based tool. It's the main advantage of using a Git. The first one is versioning control system, and second one, it's a collaboration tool. And the major key points are first, we can keep a track all the code changes in your project. For example, if you change or do any updation in any one version now, that will be considered as a separate version. So you can track and access all the versions. Suppose you do any mistakes, so that will be easily identified by the versions also. And one more thing, uh, it doesn't conflict with the uh, for your projects. And the most important thing, you can work offline on your laptop or desktops. The second one is a GitHub. So GitHub is a cloud-based platform. You can store the repositories from the local repo to the remote repo. Local repo, so that is done by your Git. You can create n number of files and repositories in your local repository. That is your laptop and desktop. And GitHub is separate. It's a online tool. It's online tool. You can just move your local repositories and files to your remote repository. So remote repository is simple. It's a GitHub. Fine. And it's not like your Git because it's an online tool and Git is an offline tool. You can store all the files in your Git to move to your GitHub. And also you can share your project. That's why it's called as a collaboration tool. And you can do a multiple commands by using a git. Let's see one by one. And the basic commands of git init, git add, git commit, and git push. The first is git init. You have to initialize the git by using this command, git space init. And after that, you have to add the files to your repositories by using the command git space add. And once you created any files, you have to save them. That is the next stage. So git space commit. So once you commit, now it's simple. It's a save of your file. And finally, you have to save or move your entire local repository files to a remote repository file by using the command git space push. And these are some working with GitHub. So create some repositories. That's the major thing. And you have to store a number of files in that repository. And for the pull request, suppose any of your project teammate is going to download your project file, so that is called as pull request. And the most important thing is you can automate all the projects and all the files through the GitHub Actions. It's possible only in a GitHub. Let's see the commands used in your GitHub, Git and GitHub. So these are some terminologies used in our Git and GitHub. Let's see the stages of your Git and GitHub. So these are the stages. The first stage is working directory, and second one is staging area, local repo. So these three are considered as a local repository. And finally, you have a GitHub that is a remote repository. The first initial is working directory. Working directory is simple. You can create a repositories and you can create a number of files in that repository. That is working in a working directory. That is made in a working directory. Once you created repositories and files, you have to move the entire files and repositories to the staging area by using the command git space add. So after that, you have to commit the entire files and repositories by using the command git space commit. Once you commit all the files, it moves from the staging area to the local repo. So that is your laptop, local repository or local storage. So finally, if you're having the entire files in the local repository, it can't access by your teammates or project mates. So that is not that is not the right thing for the collaboration tool. So we can move the entire files and repositories from local repo to the remote repo. So that is by using a Git space push. So once you store all the files from local to remote, it will having, I mean, your GitHub keep all the files from the local repo and to your remote repo. That is your GitHub account. Fine. If you want to download any specific files or the entire project by using the command git space pull, or if you want to change from one branch to another branch in the local repo, so that is possible. In the local repo, you have to download from one branch to another or move from one branch to another by using the command git space checkout. And finally, you have to merge a different versions and different files by using the command git merge. So these are the stages of your Git and GitHub. Let's see the hands-on for your Git and GitHub. So I already installed Git Bash. So Git. So this is our playing area. It starts with the first command, Git version. By using the command, you can check the current version of your Git. So I'm having 2.4 version. Next, I'm going to configure your Git to your remote repo. So that is local repo to your remote repo by using the two options. The one is your GitHub ID, another one is GitHub email ID. The first one is git config global user dot name, and you have to mention the ID of your GitHub within double quote. Okay. You have to identify your GitHub ID through your GitHub account. Okay. So if you want to verify whether it is configured or not by using the command git config user dot name. Now it is configured through your GitHub ID. Next, I'm going to configure through email, your GitHub email ID. That is the email associated with your GitHub. So git config global user dot email. Then within double quote, you have to mention your email ID. So that is associated with your GitHub account. So if you want to check once again, then do the command git config user dot email. Shows the email that is associated with your GitHub. That is a configured, one is your configured email ID and your configured GitHub ID. Okay. So after configuration, you have to create a directory in a local repository. So mkdir space, any file name, sample repo. So just create a repository. And now I enter into the repository by using the command cd, that is change directory, sample repo. Now check your repository by using the command pwd. If my repository is available in this path, so I'm going to check this one. C colon and uses then my sample repo. So this is my repository. So once I created the repository, now I'm going to create a file by using two different commands. One is touch. So touch space, any file name, first dot text. Okay. And one more command for creating a file, echo. And if you want to include any contents in the file now, that is possible by using an echo, echo within double quote, Welcome to Git. So your file name, second dot text. You check your repository. So created two folders. Sorry, two files. And next, you just initialize your Git by using the command git init. It create an empty Git repository. So that is a collaboration between your Git and Git. So git space initialize. So after initialize, you have to add all the files by using the command git add space your file name dot text. So your file is added from the staging area to your local repo. And finally, sorry, your working area and to your staging area. And one more thing, so git add space dot. So it is the command for user to for adding all the files at the same time. So git space add space then dot. Okay, that's a warning, simple warning. And one more thing. So once you add all the files, next is commit. If you want to give any customized message, so include hyphen m, then your message. My first commit. So I committed the two files. So that will be reflected in this stage. So two files and I have a single line of code in one of the file. That is second dot text. Okay. If you want to check the status or log, git space log. It gives all the information, all the committed information and all the entire information. So that is a log. Next, I'm going to push the two files into my Git repository. Before that, I'm going to create a repository manually in a GitHub. So go to my, this is my GitHub ID. I already logged in it. So I created a repository by using this option, new repository, and give any name, sample git repo. Okay. The sample git repo. So just give it, if you want to give any description, just use it. And default, it's a public. If you want to give it to the private, then go for the option. If you give a private, you can give the access key. And finally, you create a repository. So once you create the repository, you have to configure this repository into your local repo. That is Git. So you have a commands. So these are the commands. That's the default thing. So next, I'm going to add that GitHub local repo, so GitHub repository to your local repo. So, fine. So I'm in a master branch. So I'm going to change this branch into a main branch. It's a default branch. Git branch hyphen m main. So your master branch is now changed into a main branch. Next, I'm going to push my file, my local repository, that first one dot text and second dot text to your GitHub account. So git push, so git the window, this command or add origin, then your GitHub link. So it's available in your GitHub repository. So that is the new repository. So once I configure to my uh, remote repository, now I ready to push all my files to the repository. Okay. Now I'll move my local repository file studio to GitHub. Let's see the results. Okay. So now I'm having the two files. That is from, I just moved from a local repo to your GitHub ID. Next, I'm going to pull. So pull means it just download. So git pull. So already it's update. If you want to make any changes in the git repo, must do anything and adding one file to your git repo, upload files. Let's drag and drop the file. So it's uploading. Once upload all the process, then you have to give a commit changes. Yeah, it's uploaded and commit changes to save your file. So you have added one more file to your GitHub. That is your remote repository. Now I'm going to download this three. Already have two files. First dot text and second dot text. Now I'm going to download the second dot documents. So, git pull. It downloaded the second document file. So this is a git pull command. It's a very basic command for the Git or GitHub actions. Thank you.